my fascinating Renaissance friends. Okay, welcome to episode 87. 87. We're still in the month of May, and we're still following our theme, which is possibility, revolution, and transformation. Really, because May was named after Maya, the goddess, the Roman goddess of growth and fertility, and these are the concepts associated with her. Okay, and again, we've said if it's transformation, we are still going to use the technique of reframing, right? And the best reframe subject, okay, for something revolutionary, is what our feelings, okay, or emotions. Why? It's the most misunderstood. Everybody thinks only happiness and joy and excitement and love and affection are the happy and not happy, are the positive emotions. Everything else, like anger and frustration and all of that, they are all dark and ugly. No, no. A person, is made up of both positive. No, I wouldn't say positive and negative because I am contributing to the stereotype. Okay, a person, is made to feel several types of emotions, and God created, us with these emotions, the capabilities for these emotions for different purposes. So why are we putting down some and uplifting some, when these are all very important in life? And so that's what we're doing. It's something revolutionary as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so just to segue, you started with the strong emotion of anger. Okay, and so anger, if it's not handled properly, it's going to lead to road rage, to murder, and everything else in between. Okay, so we've said that anger is simply an energy, okay, with a purpose. So it is triggered when people disrespects our boundaries, when something challenges our values, what we consider important, and something that disrupts our sense of justice. And so we can use it to target, correcting it. Like if there's a sense of injustice, we speak up. We help the underdog and things like that. Okay, so we go to the second one. The second one is guilt. Guilt trip, guilt. Okay, guilt. Okay, when we feel guilty, the emotion of guilt is triggered because it is a sign that our actions do not align with our values. Okay, it's a sign. So it's simply a sign. There's nothing wrong there. A sign simply tells you, okay, where you're going, where the road leads to. If you're not in the right road, you just might not meet your destination. As simple as that. That our actions, okay, are not aligned with our values. Okay, what we hold dear, what we hold important. For example, will be, you feel guilty because you said yes to something that you do not approve of. Why did you say yes? Oh, I wanted to say no, but I don't know. Maybe I was just scared, that people will not accept me, if I say no, so I say yes. Or I feel guilty because I didn't tell the person the truth. I feel guilty. Why not? Because I don't want to hurt the person. Okay, if I told her the truth, she might not be able to accept it, and she might get angry at me, and I would lose a friend and things like that. So what is more important to you? All right, so being honest, being truthful is more important. I wanted to tell her the truth, but I told her a lie. Okay, so I feel guilty about that. Okay, then again, you see, so when we feel guilt, we punish ourselves, right? So what do we do? Let's use guilt to guide us, not to punish us. Okay, guide, which means I felt guilty before because I said yes instead of saying no, and I hated myself. Okay, so you tell yourself, if the same situation happens again, I'll be prepared. Okay, I will choose myself. I will choose me. Meaning, I will choose to say no. I will choose me so I won't feel guilty. But there is a better approach to it. So you change the approach instead of saying, oh no, because it's like this and like that. Of course. You'd say, I would say no to this because it's like this. I respect you and you're my friend. So I expect that you also respect me because I am not comfortable saying yes to these types of situation. All right. So it guides you to the next action. That's a reframe. Okay. So guilt is something positive because it is a sign that tells you that we are doing actions not aligned to who we really are. And so next time we find out first, of course, what are our values? What do we consider important? Okay, if you say telling the truth is more important, at least it's a guide. So how do you navigate that? Okay? All right, now, how about frustration? Frustration is another you know, emotion that most people think is positive. All right? So, frustration is the feeling of being stuck between effort and outcome. It says, psychologists say that it is a feeling, of being stuck between effort and outcome, sign that something isn't working. Something isn't working. Either, it's something that's not working. So, okay, effort. You want to reach this goal. All right. You've been trying everything, you read about, you've been trying your best, and yet you don't seem to be, moving an inch. So you're frustrated. Okay, you're frustrated. And what do you do then? Okay, just feel frustrated and simply give up. Okay, how do we reframe? Because we know frustration is simply a feeling that we are stuck between effort and outcome. All right, something isn't working. Okay, so what do we do? Either we shift our approach, or maybe look at our expectations. Check it out. Maybe there are many things here. You're frustrated because this is what you want and you're not getting it. Okay, then maybe what's your approach? Maybe it isn't working. There's so many approaches. The French would say, there's so many ways to skin the cat. So many ways to skin the cat, meaning there are many ways of doing things. Okay, if this approach isn't working, shift. Okay, now if the or you can, maybe it's too much to ask. Maybe you're trying to eat an elephant, in one day. So either lower your expectations, or okay, take it one step at a time. Or maybe we are just we just want to make it very fast. But then it's so big, so fast. I mean, I don't think that is a good combination, no? Or for me, to begin with, for me, it's always check your values. Maybe you're frustrated, nothing is happening because it's not something that you really care about. Because your friend says this is the best thing to do, or be like somebody else, maybe it's not you. Maybe that's not your wiring. So you're frustrated. Example, I could really just identify with this. Of course, when I was much, much, much younger, I wasn't yet a life coach, and I wasn't really this, this mature in my life. I've always loved fashion. Okay, but the fashion that I want is, I want to be a ramp model. Model clothes called a ramp. Just like all the top supermodels. All right, there's just one problem. Okay, I'm just 5 feet one. I'm not. I'm on the plump side. Even when I was much younger, I'm not into. Models are supposed to have long legs. Are very slim and all of that. Okay. Besides, my dad was a very conservative dad. he didn't want me, going on ramps and doing sashaying, in front of many people. So, but I love that. So I was really frustrated because I love fashion. Oh, then again, I said, oh, there's something wrong there. So I love fashion doesn't mean that the only way I could really, experience the love of fashion is to be a fashion model. I wasn't wired to do that. So I just became a fashionable woman. I studied my body. I studied the styles that will fit me, that will make me look more beautiful, slimmer, and all that stuff. I still love fashion, but then again, I'm no longer frustrated because I know my body type. I know the kind of style that will fit me. And when people say, "Oh, Malu, you look so slim in that dress. Oh, Malu, you have not aged any day, and things like that." Then of course I'm happy. All right. I'm sure you can really see I love accessories. I'd like to experiment, and okay, of course, again, so as not to feel frustrated because I still continue, to experiment and say, how come it doesn't fit me and all of that, then I realize that certain colors are actually beautifying because other colors actually uglify me. There's such a term. Some colors beautify me, some colors uglify me. Okay, and so my favorite colors, if you notice in the videos that I would upload, black is my go-to color. Dark purple, are my favorite colors. The dark colors like green, emerald green, and red is my favorite color, and camel brown is. All right, so like right now I'm wearing my favorite black, and I experiment with different accessories. Okay, so I'm no longer frustrated. I let go of the things which uglify me. Okay, and I only focus on the things that beautify me. So there are lesser things to be frustrated about. All right. Okay, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe because there are still a lot more things. So 11, okay, emotions we should understand and reframe so that we could really, okay, transform our life from a good life to a better life to the best life, and things like that. Until then, this is Miss Malu Cervantes, your BFF, your life coach, and your fellow sojourner are saying goodbye.